thinking that this is clickbait. I can assure
it's not
you
clickbait.
it's not. I have
But you should listen to Vin. You should definitely listen to him.
There's no one more
because
than this guy. Anything
he actually believes this.
NATO's going in, and he is going to give a message that in no
I'm gonna start it again.
terms is NATO asking for World War III. After the clip, I'll share with you exactly why I think that's the case, and then I will show you a second video clip that will prove it. Check it out.
And we are deepening our political ties through the NATO-Ukraine Council, where we consult and make decisions together. Ukraine will join NATO. It is not a question of if, but of when. As we prepare you for that day, NATO will continue to stand with Ukraine for your security and for ours.
Short clip, but that's the entirety of the message there. The Secretary General of NATO says in no uncertain terms, Ukraine will join NATO. It's not a question of if, but when. And at the end, he says, this is for your security and ours. The reality couldn't be more opposite. Ukraine joining NATO is a declaration of World War III. And this has been the problem with the West all along. And this is what Putin's been saying. NATO continues to expand further and further towards Russia. It was put together to combat the Soviet Union during the Cold War era. After the Soviet Union fell and it became Russia, there was agreements that NATO would no longer expand further towards its territory. Of course, the West has completely violated that, but by making Ukraine a part of NATO, you're basically giving two middle fingers to Putin in the middle of this conflict, and you are asking for war. This is not for security. This is not going to provide security. This is going to plunge the world into a global conflict. These people are stupid, but actually, I believe they know exactly what they're saying. So let me present to you clip number 2, just so everyone knows that what I am saying here is a fact.
Я хочу еще раз все-таки подчеркнуть это. Я говорю, но мне очень бы хотелось, чтобы вы меня услышали все-таки в конце концов. И донесли это до своих читателей, зрителей и пользователей в интернете. Но вы понимаете или нет, что если Украина будет в НАТО, и военным путем будет возвращать себе...
Any attempts to bring Crimea back by military means, the European countries will be automatically pulled into a war conflict with Russia. Of course, NATO and Russia potentials are incomparable. We understand it, but we also understand that Russia is one of the leading war. Some modern components, it even performs of them. There will be no winners, and you will be pulled into this conflict against your will. You won't even have time to blink your eye when you executive Article 5. President Macron, of course, doesn't want it, and I don't want it, which is why we're here, torturing me for 6 straight hours.
So Putin says it very clearly and in no uncertain terms that if Ukraine joins NATO, that it will pull all of Europe into a war with Russia. This guy is not lying. Now, do I think that Putin wants a war with Europe? No. Do I think Putin wants a war with the United States? No.
Why is that, Vin?
And he says there will be no winners.
Why is that?
Why do we have the Secretary
Because he's going to get handed his ass?
Of NATO saying to the world in this message, it's not a matter of if, but when Ukraine is a part of NATO. Why would he proclaim this? Why would he continue to expand eastwards towards Russia, this Cold War organization? Is it for your security and for mine, like he said on his video? Or do these people actually want a global conflict? Because a global conflict will give them an ends to a means. And what is that means that they want? A complete global shift. An absolute change in the way things are done economically, a shift of wealth, a shift of power, a shift of control. And right now, that shift is happening too slowly, and you have too many people who are fighting against it. They are going to plunge us into World War III.
Now, remember, this is A2V. You see? A2V. According to Vin, name is Vincent, and he swore to God that here's his logo, that he was not a Republican, and that he was disgusted with Trump, and he was independent. I keep telling you guys, there's no such thing as independent. You're either unaffiliated with either of the two parties, or you're a Democrat who can't stand Democrats like myself, or you're a Republican like Vin. And he was disgusted with the Republicans for a while. That's understandable. That's why I don't call myself independent. And neither is anybody else. You're either unaffiliated with either party, Republican or Democrat. But I can't stand the Democrats and what they've been doing. I'm stuck in the same hole that Vin and all of you are stuck in. We're all stuck in the same hole, voting for goddamn capitalists, whether they have a D or an R or nothing in front of their name, because they're unaffiliated.
And they're going to do it on purpose. When Donald Trump comes out and says, listen, when I become president, I'm going to end this Ukraine conflict. I'm going to talk with Putin. We're going to sit down and we're going to figure it out. There's going to be compromises. The West is going to give up some things. Ukraine's going to give up some things. Russia's going to give up some things. But we're going to end the conflict. It's going to be over. What Donald Trump may not realize, and maybe he does realize this, is this does not fit with the global agenda. It does not fit with the deep state. It does not fit with the Secretary General of NATO. It does not fit with many of the leaders who are pulling the strings, because they want global conflict. And that's one of the problems with Donald Trump. Is Donald Trump is just a guy who doesn't want conflict. He wants great trade agreements. He wants wealth to be spread around. He wants American workers to do good. He wants American excellence. He wants energy independence. He wants secure borders. These are common sense, smart things that most Americans and most regular average people get. And it's interesting, the timing of this, because we know Donald Trump is going to win the upcoming election.
No, he's not.
Like they're trying to plunge us into World War III before he can win the election. So that, maybe obviously if they do that, we can have martial law maybe here in the United States of America, and Joe Biden can stay president, or whoever really is in charge, Obama, his handlers, whoever it is. Obviously, these people are sick out of their minds with all the policies that they're doing and, harming the United States with. Something to watch, but do not underestimate what this guy said, and do not underestimate what Putin is saying. This is real. This is an actual move towards World War III. If this ever happened, that's it.
Okay, so first, then, it's not going to happen because Putin is not going to kill himself. Let me flip. Putin is never going to kill himself. And so he already knows attacking Europe means Europe's going to attack him back. Then he's not going to do it. Ukraine will be made a part of NATO, North American Trade Organization. That's where they get their strength from. They can't get a check, an unending check from the taxpayers of, and this is what's happening. This is what this man is telling you. No more. The Republicans rightfully stopped and would not vote to send money to Ukraine. That is insane when so many Americans are hurting financially that we would send money to Ukraine to continue a war that Putin started because he's benefiting financially from it. And even though they have some sanctions, because he hadn't even been really sanctioned, there's some sanctions when he first did it. He shouldn't be getting a dime of taxpayers' monies. And Putin is still receiving his money from the trade agreement that we have with him and he has with us. So he ain't going to do a damn thing to get rid of his money pot. All of this fear mongering. And so what Vin said was, this is not clickbait. I know this is not clickbait for you. You actually believe this foolishness because you really just want Trump back in charge. And when I laughed when you said he doesn't want conflict, the motherfucker got like 6 cases right now, criminal and civil. He ain't nothing but a bunch of conflict. Remind me of myself. But it's okay, because Donald Trump's from New Jersey. He gonna be all right. He gonna do the right thing at the right time, and then you gonna see that yeah, people gonna he gonna sing like he know he can sing, and the reason that he stole those documents, and whether he goes to jail or whether he doesn't go to jail, it doesn't matter. You think you got a better chance with Trump and Russia? How's Trump going to stop this man from attacking Europe? Putin ain't even got no gut. You must not be paying attention, Vin, because Putin had to go to China to get some warheads. He ain't even got enough. Ukraine blew up his warships. The warship that he needs to attack people, oh, that's in the bottom of the ocean. So this is not clickbait for Ben. He really believes what he's saying, but he also knows he's added in bullshit. This was a way for him to add in that Trump really needs to be the president, even though I'm independent and I don't follow Trump anymore. He really needs to be the president. This is the same thing with this guy, Philip Scott. There will be no war. Putin needs to be in prison. And if you good people make me president, that's where he's going. To prison. Why would Putin be concerned about what's going on with NATO and who joins NATO, as if Crimea and Ukraine are his countries to decide what happens to them? Did you forget that part, Mr. Vin? Look at. I think he forgot that part. He completely overlooked the part where that's not his country. He is not in charge of those countries. He stole Crimea, and y'all let him get away with that. So now what's happening is Putin is saying, hell, I got Crimea. Now I got China to help me with Russia when I ran out of bullets and bombs. So NATO is like, well, fuck, what's next? Are we next? And that is why then A2V, they are saying Ukraine has to be part of NATO, because President of Ukraine didn't want to be part of NATO. Not because of anything that Putin was threatening to do, but they didn't want to be a part of it because they don't want to pay fees into it. Well, now you're getting handed your ass, and you owe all of the countries in NATO that have been helping you. United States has put the most money up, but all of the countries have been pouring millions of dollars into this war that Putin started. See, Putin starts a war every time. And if it's not Putin, it's the Middle East or some goddamn buddy else. And here we go. Oh, we part of NATO. We got to save the world. No, it's over with. And that's the one good thing that the Republicans did, is chop the purse strings of the Republicans and not, of the Democrats. Not all Democrats were down for giving this money to Netanyahu so he could go out and kill more Palestinians. Do that on your dime. And not all of the countries of NATO were interested in giving more money to Ukraine. Something had to be done. So if you join and you're paying membership fees into the membership club, right, Ben? Then you get the protection. But there are countries that said, hey, oh, they ain't even part of NATO. What the hell I'm going to take my millions of dollars and pay because they getting handed their ass by Putin, Vladimir Putin. It doesn't make any sense. So this is what happened. This is not about fear mongering or clickbait. It's just that you all really needed to see, especially to see the look on his face. He really believes all of this. I'm going to go.
It's going to go down. What do you think about it? Leave your comments below. I'll catch you next time.
Okay, you're going to catch me next time. I left my comments live, but you know YouTube got an issue with me leaving live comments. They don't like the one about Justice Ketanji Jackson. Huh? Where my views at? See, I see my views for each video on the back sheet and the analytics. And then when whatever's posted, it says 1 view or 0 views or something like that. But you already showed me that about 200 people looked at that video. Did you forget? I also took a screenshot. All right, I got to go, because I know y'all are just going to keep messing with me and my videos. And I'm going out to let the public know that I'm running for president, that they have another choice. Not fanatics like Vin and fanatics like Roland Martin, who he got his nose so far up Biden's ass, he can't smell nothing. His brain is clogged. going around talking about packages and Biden was the best president and unemployment is down. Unemployment is down because there's no jobs, because migrants are working for $2 an hour. So stop saying that unemployment is down. It's not. They just stopped applying, so they're not being counted. Or they did apply and you left them off. All these little tricks go away when I'm president. They go away. Trying to use my goddamn. Have a good day.